I'm just a pro trying to make it. So come ride with me. Okay, so I set up just like 2 little exercises I'm going to work with my small pony. What we're going to encourage is for the front end to get more cleaner and more lifted. He's a very athletic pony. The height is never an issue with him. He's one that you can definitely just walk up to it and he will jump over it. So we want him to create not always being that up and down jump. We want to encourage him to continue with the stride, have a nice bascule, and then land and canter out nicely. And also more just kind of be a little more settle on focusing more on the front end. He doesn't try very hard with his front end because the jumps for a small, the 2-3 jumps aren't that big to him. So he just really doesn't put the effort in. So we're going to make this starting off super simple with him. I have a line here that I have placement poles in front and behind. So with my line, I went ahead and made everything a cross rail. We have a cross rail oxer here and a cross rail vertical at the end down there. So just starting off, we're going to keep it low and then work our way up. I put the ground pole about 3 small steps to the cross rail and then again on the back side. You're going to have to play with the ground poles to see what works with their stride with this so that you're not getting too short, you're not getting too long, and they're having a hard time getting through it. What I also did is I took the flower boxes, and I'm probably going to take the flower boxes and just kind of pull them out, just maybe a smidge more. What's going to teach him is to kind of come back. He likes to bury a little bit to the fence, and I think that's why he kind of gets that up down with the kids. So this is what I'm going to work with riding him. So I want him to pull off so that he actually jumps correctly and feels confident jumping correctly. But those flower boxes are going to help him be able to want to lift up his knees and use himself a little bit better getting across it, so it becomes a habit. And what I like to do is I like to do this line going back and forth, going through and halt at the end. So because you don't want them to get rushy. If they start to get rushy, we halt. If they land nice and quiet and balanced, then I like to always just add a circle at the end, like a big circle down there, just to reward them for that, so they don't create the habit that they're always stopping at the end. We don't want anything to be rough or sharp or anything. We want everything to be settled and quiet. If he's perfect the first few times of doing this, then we'll move on to the next exercise. Next exercise, we have a little bounce for him. I only lifted one side. We're just going to bounce to get him to rock back and kind of get through the obstacle so that he learns not to just kind of jump up, land, and stall, that he kind of just quietly and builds muscle in his back and his front end and his hind end, sitting down, rocking back and jumping through and getting through everything. So we're going to walk this. Again, I just did 3 steps. You're going to have to play with it. Like I said, to adjust to your pony size is a little bit harder, I feel like, sometimes with the ponies because they're not horses. So we just kind of have to adjust with the stride here. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and we're going to pull this box out just a smidge. Again, I want him to be able to jump across it, round, and land. I have a landing pole on the backside so that he keeps going after the jump. He doesn't just stall. So land reaches out to get across to that pole on the backside. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. So we have a nice 3rd stride here. All right, and then we're just going to walk up here. We're not going to count the strides. Whatever I do when I'm in having something with a ground pull in front of the jumps, whatever we do when we land from the fence, we land and we ride to the ground pole. We're not riding to the fence, we're riding to this ground pole right here to kind of help them get through it. We don't want to land and ride to the fence so much, because if we miss maybe the ground pole, then we're going to obviously miss our cross rail or our little vertical here. So ride to your first fence. Again, we're going to count 3, 1, 2, 3, and I pulled the box out so he has a great vestibule and jumps over. And then we're gonna land and canter out on the back side, and this pull feels a little close, so we're gonna roll it out. Count 3, 1, 2, 3. Yep, we're gonna roll that out just so it helps him get through. So a good little exercise we have here. Just something so simple and straight. Straightness is the key to everything. Balance is a key success for jumping. Horse has to be balanced. If your horse is not balanced, you are going to have a hard time jumping. Maybe that's why your horse rushes a little bit, because your horse is not balanced on the landing side, and therefore for it to keep up, they just kind of push forward because they don't know how to fix themselves. So ground pulls are a great thing. What we could always do is add a couple more ground pulls on the landing, or ground pulls throughout the whole line, but I'm not going to make it too technical right now because he's pretty easy, and maybe I'll do that tomorrow if I feel like, okay, let's get a little bit more balanced and stronger and understanding to stay straight. This will help out. Also, talking about being straight, if we add a ground pull in coming in, a lot of the reasons why we miss our distances is because our horse isn't actually going straight down the line. They need to learn to ride straight so they can get the distance down the line. We land and then we maybe are bowing to the little right or bowing to a little left. So we want to make sure we ride straight. Ground pulls are going to help you be able to create that straightness. So if we decided we wanted to add ground pulls throughout the line, that will help us understand straightness and balance through the whole line. So that may be something we'll work on a little bit today or tomorrow with. So coming over here, we have a little bounce, one-sided lifted, because I want to help him out. I don't want to throw him at something that is too difficult starting off. Before we ever do bounces like this, you're going to do it with the ground, with a pull on the ground. Don't do it automatically lifting, because the horse has to understand how to get through it. Over time, you can raise it up, but don't throw something at your horse when your horse is not used to doing it. You're setting yourself up for not success. We always want to set ourselves up for success. So if that day you're only doing ground pulls on the ground, cantering the pulls, only do that. Nothing more than that. And then the next day you can raise it up, and then the next day you can give it a little higher. Again, never go too high with your bounces. The key is to keep it under 3 foot. It's just asking a little bit too much for your horse. You can work with other things to help create, the height, but we don't need to exhaust our horse while doing bounces. So again, we're going to walk 3 steps. 1, 2, 3, and that's good. 1, 2, 3, and that's good. 1, 2, 3, and that's good. So again, this is set up for a small pony. A small pony is 12.2 hands and below. Nothing taller than that. If you're going to do a horse, obviously you're going to need to pull these out. That's going to be too tight, and that landing and that absorption is going to go up through their legs and into their shoulder, into their back, and we don't want to have that. So make sure that you are setting your distances correct. So everything I set today, again, was for a small pony. Small pony that is 12.2 hands. So if you guys have any questions for, exercises for your horses, or what you can do to help them, fix something, go ahead and leave the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'd be happy to help you out with anything. And I want to thank all my sponsors. I'd like to thank my Bellamute for providing me the beautiful belts and shirts that they have for riding. And I want to thank Rainbow Natorium for their beautiful colored hairnets. They're super cute and fun. So again, everyone, don't forget to subscribe to my channel below. If you have any questions or want me to go over something that you're having difficulties with your horse, I can definitely help you out. Okay, have a fabulous day. Bye.